In today's show, what is between the lines on the SEKIKUBO's motion, as Honorable SEKIKUBO is moving a motion to suspend all the commissioners of parliament for embezzling public funds. Let us hear him out.
Can I tell you?
And append their signatures.
Can I tell you? You know, I'm a veteran in that field. Can I tell you? I'm being delayed here by this program. I'm going to receive signatures. What are you talking about? Because at the end of the day, each and every member, you see, once we are voted to parliament, we are all equals. But strong enough, Honorable KWIZA has told you, the debate about corruption in parliament is not only limited in the corridors of parliament. It is with the people.
Yeah.
And now the people are asking their members, their representatives, what is your position? Where are you standing on this point?
But where did you go wrong and where did this start from? Originally, me, you know, to SEKIKUBO, I'm senior to him because I was in 6th Parliament. And SEKIKUBO later on came and also became a commander there. Members of Parliament used to have committees of Parliament under Article 90. And this leadership would be elected by the committees themselves, Article 90. So we would choose where we are going, and when we reach in the committee, we would choose among ourselves the person that has offered and he has competence and the ESCO method to choose to lead the committee. So if he has not delivered to the expectations of the committee of that parliament, meaning affecting the working of parliament, the members would have mandate and capacity to withdraw that person and replace him if he has not performed.
Was there a commission then?
No, there was no commission. Then we had also a parliamentary commission. A parliamentary commission is represented statutorily. It is what we call a statutory representation, where other agencies represent government or represent the commission. That's Article 87A, where they say there shall be a parliamentary commission, meaning that the Minister of Finance will be a statutory representative from government. Prime Minister will be there. The Speaker, Deputy Speaker will be there. And then the leader of the opposition will have a person. And then all parties, NRM would have people there. But for NRM to have people there, who would be the key appointing authority? It would be members of parliament. Now members of parliament, with time, they abdicated their duty, their mandate. The committees of parliament under Article 90 are now, unfortunately, they are appointed without the participation of the members who they are going to chair. So the president, using his executive powers, appoints ministers. Ministers who are supposed to be answerable to parliament by way of going to the committees. In this case, now, after appointing the ministers who come to the committee, the president, and because he's now the chairperson of a party, he also appoints the leaderships of committees, meaning that the members of parliament no longer have say on who is appointed. So the person who comes there, the minister is there, appointed by the president, and the chairperson of the committee is appointed by the president or the chairman of the party. That's where the problem started from. Then, who has the mandate? Who has the capacity to withdraw? That's a very big problem, which the country and the parliament must now reverse to go back to the original understanding of the workings of the committees. Now, when we come to Honorable SEKIKUBO's motion, it says, of course, these people, in getting money, it was not ethical. But there are things to analyze. Was the money in the budget? That's what we ask. If the money was in the budget, was it approved by parliament? If it was approved by parliament, did the president assent to the bill, appropriation bill, to become an act of parliament? Was the money there? That's one thing. Another issue is that if the parliamentary commission decided,
Okay,
and
you're asking these questions. Do you have answers?
no, wait.
Okay.
Now, if the parliamentary commission sat and decided, parliamentary commission is under corporate governance system. You work on a paper presented, a paper, a cabinet paper, a cabinet paper, a body paper, or a commission paper that says we are going to discuss this and we are going to take these decisions. Means we are going to give that service award. Is the service award provided for in our laws? Who qualifies for a service award? So if the 9 members of the commission, 9 members, did all of them get money? So who is accountable? Who prepared that paper to give? And who gave the money? So you find that there is someone who received the money, in which case the commissioners, whether all or not all. But there is also someone who paid them. So if the act of paying and receiving was wrong, where do we go? This is what we are now still trying to find out. Who decided to pay? Who took a decision to pay? In which case, was there any board or any commission decision to pay? To pay, was it a legal pay? Who made the payment? Who made the payment and who received? This received. Can they deny? If they are now told that you received wrong money, can they refund the money? Then, but what is the role of now the party? The party is one which said we are appointing these members. Where is the NRM caucus? Where are the party caucuses? Where are they?
Well, thank you very much. Honorable Theodore SEKIKUBO, to what extent does your motion answer some of the questions that are being raised by Honorable KWIZA?
Thank you for this opportunity once again. To begin with, I'm happy that Honorable Eddie KWIZA says he agrees with me and my colleagues, the sponsors of the motion. He agrees with us 80%. It means we have moved to some point. However, what I would like to clarify from the outset is that there are 2 stages of this motion. The first stage, where we are now, is a petition seeking to have a matter placed on the order paper. This is not the stage where we are coming to prove, as Honorable KWIZA has indicated, whether one is right or wrong. This is a stage that brings the motion and the issues onto the floor of Parliament. You recall that several attempts to have this matter debated had been stopped or failed. But now the first leg, where we go by way of a notice of motion, we only need 177 members
To get it on the order.
to get it on the floor of Parliament. Then while there, a motion shall be tabled where all the reasons that we think are pertinent to the motion shall be given and even explained with all the evidence attached and tabled in the floor of Parliament. Then those implicated members will have their day, will have opportunity to respond to these, to challenge these, and even to welcome what Honorable KWIZA here is attempting to do. But this is a parliamentary process. At this stage, Mr. Angela, we are only wanting to have fairness. Let these matters be discussed. Let us put them to the open.
Why would it take such a tedious process to get this matter, if it is really crucial, on the order paper of Parliament?
That's why, from the word go, we had only sought the indulgence of the Speaker. Can we have time to look at these matters? Because they're everywhere. We can't hide. The most disturbing issue is that Parliament as an institution is mandated by the Constitution to perform the oversight function over all other agencies, ministries, and departments. Now, if we scrutinize and put to task all those agencies to force them to account, how come that when it comes to Parliament, we look at it differently? And we should be the institution above We should be the institution above, so that we have the moral high ground to have these institutions to account. And we do this on behalf of the people. So to me, I don't want to sound despondent and resigned, as some members here are saying, that it is. Yes,
Yeah,
but
do
struggle.
do you wonder why it is being greeted by a lot of skepticism and interpretation of politicking, spite? Some members have cited spite because you were denied chance to be a commissioner.
Let me tell you this. We have a list of members of parliament who applied to be commissioners. I did have my application there. 77 of our colleagues applied. 77. And from here, we are now on a television of a national character. This is a television where nothing but the truth must be spoken. Let any member, let them access the file from the government chief whip. Because you see what happened. The government chief whip put up announcements that all members of parliament are eligible. And those interested in serving as commissioners of parliament, submit your applications. And thereby, members submitted their applications. And all the applicants were 77 in total. 77. My name is not amongst them. And I'm challenging you. My name is not amongst them. And even whichever way this matter ends, I don't have any aspiration to become a commissioner. We do this.
What exactly are you pursuing in
No, once
other than exposing parliament?
not exposures. We were already exposed by parliamentary exhibitions. We were already exposed. It is in the public domain. But what we are doing now is to say, can we refocus, reclean ourselves? Can we regain our moral high ground as the parliament? Can we get back to where we are supposed to be? Where we are constitutionally mandated to be? Can we restore sanity in parliament?
Is the
And that is the
1.7
challenge.
billion saga the biggest scandal parliament has recorded in recent days?
Mr. Njara, even a chicken thief, once found guilty, even stealing a chicken, or even a pen, you can't. That shows you how low the country has sunk. To say that this is mere 1.7 billion, don't mind about it. But what does it speak to the moral turpitude? What does it speak to the integrity? Not only of the commissioners, by the way, it's not a challenge that is of the individuals named, but it is a challenge to the institution of parliament. I want you to understand my position. We are not saying that these are evil people. They are alien people. They are members of parliament. They are part of us. But we say, wait a minute. Yes, whereas we have all collective responsibility to the people who sent us to parliament, and we should stand as colleagues in parliament. But wait a minute. This is person. And as you say, in the service award you're talking about, they encrypted it in a way that the service award was person holder. They were given the award as person holder, meaning that they bear all the liabilities and assets, the benefits and the disadvantages of that service award. And that's what I was saying. This is a house of 529 elected members. You can call it 559 members of parliament. But we did not sit at any point to conspire collectively. The parliament out there, the parliament I come from, I can hear the despondency taking its toll on members, even you, the presenter of this program. I'm telling you, there are men and women out there in that parliament, men and women of integrity, who think the country should move in a positive direction. And
are you one of them?
And those, wait a minute, because you want to make me sound sanctimonious. I'm not saying I'm holy. I could be having my shortcomings as any other human beings. But I'm saying, wait a minute, this is the minimum. And once you see it, you don't accept it. Whether it is done by SEKIKUBO or KWIZA EDDIE here, why must you tolerate corruption? Why must you? And this one which has come into the public domain, I want to ask you, suppose we sweep it under the carpet. What is our standing in the eyes of the public? The 48 million Ugandans who cannot come to parliament, but they send us to represent them. How do they perceive of us?
Honorable,
Why must we go for accounting officers, chief administrative officers, and other low-ranking persons for small amounts? What moral authority do we have anymore if we can't check ourselves and we say we are superimposing the rules of law and accountability and transparency on the rest of the institutions of the country, except ourselves? How does that come to that?
Honorable Kwizera, given the explanation from Honorable Sekikubo, are you in a way persuaded or compelled to append your signature onto this very controversial motion?
You see the debate, if you go to the debate of narrowing the signature,
it's important.
You will now be undermining undermining an effort to fight corruption. There's an effort.
No, for now.
But I want to tell you.
For now, the task is about collecting 177.
No. What I'm saying, what has brought me here is very clear. The country and parliament is under siege because of corruption.
Honorable President, will you sign?
Listen to me. I was in my constituency for the last 2 weeks. And everywhere you go, people ask, what's wrong? The public opinion about parliament, it would be a pretense to say that the corruption debate is not there. But people asking, who has failed to do the work? Mm-hmm. That's a very big issue. Because NRM is a very big party and is the ruling party. And NRM is the sponsor of those candidates. Many of them on the parliamentary commission. Mm. So what is the work of NRM in its fight against corruption? That's what you ask. So should I do the work of another person? He has failed to do his work. Because there is enough reminder, there is enough information from parliament, from IGG, from police, from State House, all anti-corruption agencies are full with information. Meaning that the head of state who takes a decision, the chairman of the party, the chairman of the caucus who is the whip, they know all of this. So have they deliberately left it out for members to eat each other? Can't they do something? That's what I'm saying. So, secondly, my colleague has already tried that, or a recall of us. Can this matter be debated? But here, you are reporting a police officer, you are reporting a constable to a police officer at a police station. The speaker is a member, is a chairperson of the commission. The parliamentary clerk is the secretary of the commission. And here you want to say, can we discuss these things? So we have more power and authority.
And the accomplices in the
there is a conflict of interest. There is a conflict of interest. And every member of parliament, by the way, including the speaker, I would think that they say, we have had enough. We need to regain our glory. We have had enough. Because corruption in Uganda or corruption in parliament, whether you are a beneficiary or a participant, but you are going to be a victim in decision making. Because when people look at you in the public opinion, either you are going to be affected, either you are benefiting, there are those who are benefiting, of course, who take the money. There are those who are participating, but there are those who are going to be victims in the people who are forming an opinion against parliament. And we are going to be all criminalized, which I wouldn't want the public, I want to appeal to the public. Like, before you criminalize every member of parliament, know that there is KWIZA EDDIE, there is SEKIKUBO. Me and SEKIKUBO, I see him even in the Orthodox, is a very serious man. We believe in God, and God is looking at all of us. Those who have failed to do our work, God is judging us. then we also must be truthful to ourselves, truthful to ourselves and to other people. And we must do what we are supposed to do legally.
Do you find,
meaning that if
do you find it intriguing that SEKIKUBO is focusing on 4 commissioners and excluding the speaker, the deputy speaker, and others who would be on the list?
you see, I want to, I would widen the SEKIKUBO motion that the debate covers the whole commission and who took a decision, because this one was received. So who took a decision to give them? So if people had listened to Honorable SEKIKUBO and us members, and it became a debate, we would narrow down to the person who actually committed a crime. But as we talk now, it is still like a research paper. We have not concluded. But the effort to say now we must force Parliament to debate, the owner of the order paper is the Speaker and the clerk. They are not going to put it there. If they don't put it there, what do we do?
So
that's why
it's more of an exercise in futility.
This is like we are not going to court, but the appearance court is the NRM. So I am asking, why has NRM kept quiet? Because one of them, it is the one who sponsored and appointed those people, and NRM is fighting corruption. So where is NRM in all of this? Because NRM is bigger than Parliament. Because the foundation of those members are what? NRM. So what is NRM doing? What are the parties doing?
Except for the publicity, do you see at the end of the day, at the end of the tunnel, the Speaker of Parliament allowing this matter to get on the floor of Parliament?
Yes, I would like to allay the fears of my colleague Honorable Eddie Suspending and probably that of other members of Parliament.
And give me confidence.
Yes, to allay the fears and give him confidence. There are 2 approaches. You remember we started it on the floor of Parliament, I and Suspending.
Yeah.
It wasn't taken. But at that time, we were only seeking the indulgence of the Speaker. Can we have this matter debated, please? We are looking bad. Can we have it handled on the floor of Parliament here?
And she trusted you?
No. Well, to me, she's the Speaker. She's the Speaker of Parliament. But for me, my eye, I keep the eye on the ball. My eye on the ball. In spite of whatever was coming up, the Chimosho was here yesterday. Those can come, but those are, you take it as the occupational hazards. But for me, I keep my eye on the ball. You remember the Speaker promised to cameras and the whole country that let's deal with the ministerial policy statements. We can have your issue debated later. Then we went to budget. We kept on reminding her later until when Parliament was prorogued, meaning that the session was over. Now, at that point, we were seeking the indulgence of the Speaker. But under our rules, Kagwa, we are proceeding by way of a notice of motion. And now this is self-executing, and I know Honorable Kwizera will agree with me. The moment we file our notice to the clerk, then it becomes self-executing. The timelines are there within our rules, within which the Speaker has to bring this motion on the floor of Parliament.
Okay. Why do you exclude the Speaker and the deputy?
No, but because this is a very important issue, like Honorable Kwizera was saying, that the Speaker, this is the other people with the Speaker and the clerk. I'm saying, under our rules, the Speaker has no option but to have this matter debated on the floor of Parliament. Honorable Kwizera remembers very well the oil bills, the oil debate we had. Once the indulgence, you seek her indulgence because she's the one in chair and she's the Speaker. But if that fails now, this process of a notice of motion is self-executing, whether she wants it or not. This matter has to come on the floor of Parliament.
Okay.
Once we get the requisite signatures.
Does the lukewarmness of your colleagues raise eyebrows?
Now, you've raised a very important issue, which I wouldn't want to miss. Why are you excluding the Speaker? We had a big debate, including even Honorable Kwizera here. We had a big engagement because in the first place, We saw what was happening in NOP, the action they took against their member. We had our 3 members. Initially, we started with our own, but then we feared that it might degenerate into partisan politics, into a party affair. And yet, this is a matter of national importance, which includes all members of parliament, irrespective of your color or party. So that's how now Honorable Mpuga was added, because he's the 4th commissioner, and within the ambit, and once you have the audit trail of the money, he's a direct beneficiary. We thought now we should handle him not as NOP, but as Parliament of Uganda. And the same way we're handling other commissioners. Now for the Speaker. Incidentally, you are aware, and Honorable Kwizera is aware, that there is some other process. The IGG, Honorable Kwizera, is now has been instructed, and indeed she is on. At first she was ambivalent. I will not investigate Parliament. Let the Auditor General do it. She had run away from her cause, from her duty. But I think right now she has been instructed and she's undertaking the investigation. That is another process. For us, we can't mix all. It is an investigation ordered by the President, whether with a request from the UK High Commission, that one is outside our motion. That one is taking another process. But for us, we are tasking our commissioners. These are commissioners of Parliament.
As we take a break,
we are asking them to account.
How much concern do you have about the lukewarmness and the reservations that are coming from your colleagues? You would imagine that if this is a matter that brings together, that is bipartisan, it would attract every member to come on immediately.
Can I tell you?
And append their signatures.
Can I tell you? You know, I'm a veteran in that field. Can I tell you? I'm being delayed here by this program. I'm going to receive signatures. What are you talking about? Because at the end of the day, each and every member, you see, once we have voted to Parliament, we are all equals. But strong enough, Honorable Kwizera has told you, the debate about corruption in Parliament is not only limited in the corridors of Parliament. It is with the people.
Yeah.
And now the people are asking their members, their representatives, what is your position? Where are you standing on this point? And it is important, and I'm telling the country now, that each parliament has had its moment. And there is those decisive moments that come to parliament. Like we had in the 10th parliament. The turning point of the 10th parliament was the Twejikwatakko debate, where we lost 92% of the members of parliament. They didn't come back. Because at that time, it depended on where you stand on this point. I remember there are some colleagues, members of parliament, who voted. I vote aye, and then they duck inside the seats. But they had already been noted. I'm telling you, the turning point of the 10th parliament was Twejikwatakko. The turning point of this 11th parliament is the position a member has to take, a stand, whether you are for the corrupt or you are for those who are not. And this one, and we shall vote openly. We shall make available to you the
I think you're sounding coercive.
No, I'm not coercing.
You're trying to coerce
it is a question,
and
it is a question of choice. No, it is a question of choice. Why must you not be accountable to your people? I'm telling you, if you see the kind of campaigns going on, before members come to parliament, I want to go and be like SEKIKUBO. And when SEKIKUBO now is asking them, now can we stand together? Some are saying, wait, my signature, let me wait a moment, I'm coming. But out there, as they are jeering to come to parliament, the issue is, I'm going to represent you people, to stand on the side of the people, like to be counted in history. I want to be like SEKIKUBO. And medically. But now this is the point of the
Just a second, we are taking a break. It sounds like it's a moment of making the critical decision. Will you sign, will you not sign?
Now, I want to tell you that some of us who do research, social research, and governance research, actually this one has now come to conclude, to almost feed into my conclusions of my research about governance in Ugandan Parliament. Parliament Commission should now be independent, comprised of independent members.
Honorable Kwizera, will you sign, will you not sign?
So now, because now, you see, we are looking at the conflict of interest. If the parliamentary commission is to perform, it should be a commission like Public Service Commission, Educational Service Commission, Judicial Service Commission, to avoid the conflict of interest. That's where members are now. Why should there be a commission anyway? What is the motivation?
Honorable KWIZA, will you sign, will you not sign?
But we are now debating. This is not where to sign from. When I am satisfied, I will sign.
You're not yet satisfied.
I am not yet satisfied.
Let's take a very short break and return with more questions lingering about Honorable SEKIKUBO's motion. Who will sign? Who will not sign? And what does it mean? But still looking at what awaits Honorable SEKIKUBO's bid to have the 4 commissioners censured from Parliament over the 1.7 billion saga. Well, this is a petition that is shrouded in quite a number of things that we need to be dissecting this morning. Honorable SEKIKUBO, you see how tough the journey is likely to be for you. How prepared are you to go to the last mile?
I hadn't concluded, so now you are going to...
I'll come back to you.
No, incidentally...
With the reservations, amidst all the reservations.
Of who?
You've had...
No, Honorable KWIZA is just a member. But I'm telling you, each member is accountable. First, his own or her own conscience, and the people who elected him or her to come to Parliament. I wouldn't want to seem like my colleagues, we who are the movers of the motion and the petition. It shouldn't be that we are the one carrying the country.
It is pegged on SEKIKUBO now.
Yes, let that be.
It is SEKIKUBO against the House.
And no, not against the House. And I take it with gladness. I've never seen a good moment like this. Because it is in such moments that members are tested. You wait. Just something, I want to go to that Parliament and contribute. And I tell you, we lost almost 90% of the 10th Parliament. Those who replaced the 10th Parliament now in the 11th Parliament are the ones now who are wobbling. We are going to Parliament, and they watched us as we were failing on Tojikwatako. Now it is their time to sit on the hot seat.
Honorable SEKIKUBO.
But I want to tell you...
When there was a Mabati scandal,
yes,
you were quiet.
No.
When the country wanted to censure ministers, you were quiet.
No.
Now you're going for commissioners.
No, look.
Is it this intellectual dishonesty on the highest order?
No, but let me tell you. You can't be a jack of all trades. You can't jump on this, jump on that, or even there. But some other times, I have a legal brain. I hope you're not forgetting that. I know that matters which are before court, we have ministers appearing in court. Those matters are sub judice. You can't have them debated in Parliament.
Yeah, but this matter is also before the IGG.
Which one?
The matter of the service award.
The IGG could be that members of Parliament are interfering in a process where the IGG is investigating. But the IGG is not a competent court. It's not a court of record to say that once the IGG is investigating the matter, you are barred from discussing that. That's not the point. But what I'm saying is that for the ministers, their matters are waiting in court. They are ongoing in court. So that one have to be clear about it. Now, when this one comes, by the way, for your information, we had a lot of time pausing. Must we be the ones? But where you wait the new blood which has come to Parliament, which you thought they had hot blood to read this, are failing. It's when now you come in. And one thing I must tell you, we must either try to save individuals and we lose the country, or we save the country and we let individuals go. Honorable KWIZA, and even including yourself, you sound cynical. There is a lot of despondency, not only in Parliament but in the rest of the country. But must we all get resigned and go home and sit? Must we all look on? I've pointed out that out there are members of Parliament.
Do you know the sentiment out there? That SEKIKUBO is doing this for political aggrandization. These are the usual tricks of SEKIKUBO towards the elections. He will always find a moment to steal the show, to be the spotlight.
Okay, what you do, draw the curtain on SEKIKUBO. Put there somebody else. Is this where we want to be as a country? Leave me out. I'm only an individual. And let me tell you, I'm not carrying this petition for my signature alone to surface. It is for members of parliament. It is for the country. It is for the country. SEKIKUBO out of the picture. I'm just a participant. I'm a player. It's only where I find a position lacking that I step in. I'm only doing this as a duty.
Did you ever imagine that it would be a tall order to raise 177 signatures just to get a matter on the floor of parliament?
In fact,
And what does it tell you?
in fact, what I can assure you now, this is a done deal. Njala, this is a done deal. Mark my words. This is a done deal because the issues at hand appeal to personal conscience, appeal to our standing and credibility as members of parliament.
Yeah, but
have we lost it all?
You're not getting the signatures.
Has this country
You
got-
are not getting the signatures yet.
We just started
The momentum is
yesterday.
still low.
No, on the contrary note. On the contrary note. And we agreed that at the end of the week, we shall be availing the signatures to you, the press, to have a look at how we are moving. This is no longer a matter of an individual. This is a national cause.
No, but you've had
You've
heard the opinion of your colleague who was behind the scenes, part of the behind the scenes. He now says he's not very convinced about the intention.
No, you are putting words into his mouth.
He says,
Once a member has 80%, and that's enough. The moment you go,
no, he says he has reservations. No wonder he's not signing yet. You have a lot of explanation to do.
I may not even waste my time on him. He's a senior member of parliament. There are those I can labor to explain. Would we be fought? We have received a call. The tabernacles of this world, the members of parliament who are demobilizing, they are many. They go about it. But the critical point, yes,
Demobilizing.
who are trying to demobilize. They are using, even they are attacking Honorable Sarah Opendi from the WOPA that they throw out of the WOPA chairperson because she's part of this effort. And once you see a commissioner for your chan making calls throughout the night to say that it's time we throw out Honorable Sarah Opendi because it will undermine her and she will lose grip of the petition, of the motion. Therefore, let's undermine her by calling on WOPA members of parliament, there were many members of parliament, to throw her out, to cause confusion, to do this. Like you saw what Timosha was doing to me. Trying to scatter the effort, trying to scatter the effort, the focus on the corruption, on the subject of the corruption in parliament by bringing these other things. So I call upon members of parliament to be steadfast. This is not politicking. I've been in that parliament. God willing, I'll be back to that parliament. But this is the moment of truth.
Well,
a moment of truth for members.
Honorable KWIZA,
Stand up.
would you pay for the blood of your colleagues who by not their own making, they're in the commission where the system is too porous that they have access, they can access the job?
You say I want first to allay the fears of some members that members of parliament can have an opinion on each and every matter in the house, because that's why they are. It is the constitutional mandate of member of parliament to have an opinion on each and every matter in the house and represent your people, because the constitutional mandate. But having a difference of opinion is heresy in governance and parliamentary practice. So people should not criminalize one another, whether you are pro or against. I want to appeal to members that criminality should be avoided. That's one. Two, when you become an extremist, you close out the reasoning, like the Honorable SEKIKUBO is saying. You cannot close out. You close out reasoning when you become an extremist. I mean, you start calling people, you start judging, and you should not be judgmental, because people can sign today or tomorrow. But when you criminalize them, you are now creating divisionism, which I think is not good. Secondly, there is also a possibility that maybe in the wisdom of the House, they could have appointed a committee or a select committee, the normal practice the Speaker has been doing, to look into the matter into detail and feed into the motion which they are now talking about. But what also I want to tell you that, do you know that many people in the government, in the upcountry, they have ignored the government? Because they have felt that the government has not fought corruption where they expected. So management of public expectations is eroded. No health services, potholes are there, yet they see money going. So the corruption we are talking about is not narrowed on this one only. You know there are many forms of corruption. We have bribery, we have embezzlement, we have fraud, we have extortion, we have favoritism and nepotism, which is the worst form of corruption. And then, in all of these, me and Honorable SEKIKUBO and members, we who are in office of responsibility must be accountable.
Yes.
Accountability is very, very key. So, but how accountable are we? In Uganda, we have political corruption and bureaucratic corruption. So, the bureaucratic corruption is the one the president talks about. President talks about bureaucratic corruption. I remember when he was in Rwanda, he actually said, in Uganda, some people are corrupt. So, but that bureaucratic corruption and political corruption results into corruption of need, like corruption which is in the police, not the corruption of the greed. We have corruption of the greed. People have amassed wealth. That's the corruption of the greed. But what is causing this is what I want to tell you and what the country should know. We have systematic corruption, we have legal corruption, we have policy corruption, and we have proclamation corruption. So if a parliament provides for the law that facilitates people to amass wealth from public to individual benefit, what's the problem?
Well, so where we are now, the 4 commissioners have already been branded guilty. Do you think legally and morally they've been given a fair hearing? And doesn't this tag already mar the entire process?
You see, SEKIKUBO, who is a lawyer, me, I am a lawyer by association, and I read law because I make law. SEKIKUBO is a professional lawyer. He knows that what the motion is, will require. It is not judgmental. They have not judged them yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
It is an indication, preliminary, that based on the information we have seen, we suspect you were involved in this. You received money. But SEKIKUBO should be able to bring evidence of receipt of money and where the decision was taken. So me, I would love that I get the minutes of the commission who determined the money. I get the commission paper, how they decided. I get the person who paid the money, and I get the person who received the money. All of them handle them together. And then I say, NRM, what are you doing? That one will be another indictment on NRM, where it has failed. On Mabati, we didn't do much. NRM did not do much on Mabati.
So for now, the motion is inadequate.
It is inadequate. Because I want to advise my colleagues and Honorable SEKIKUBO and those other ones, let's not be emotional about it. The facts are that Parliament, the facts are that there is an issue of Parliament. There is an issue of corruption in Parliament. That one cannot be denied. But the facts now come in. You see, for good law to take place, you need the facts, evidence, and the law. What we are heading to is from information which is gathered, we are going for evidence, then we go for the law, because the law now will come to the house. Am I wrong? So those processes must be closed up, and nobody, at least to the best of my knowledge, with facts, you cannot come and.
So they are scant on facts.
No, what I'm saying, if Honorable Njara now we say, Commissioner, you received 400 million paid on this date by a commission who did wrong. You received wrong money. So as a commissioner, will you say no? Will you fight to keep the money which you received legally? You know what I'm saying? So if now we tell you, our colleagues, and say, you received this money illegally, will you fight to defend it? Or you will say, okay, if I received it illegally, what next?
You see, did you ever anticipate such hurdles?
They are not hurdles. They are a figment of imagination. Because what is in judicial notice, or what is known to everybody, is that indeed money changed hands from the institution of parliament to individuals. And then record, Honorable KWIZA, if you haven't been reading, Honorable Mpuga was in the press address and said, I don't regret receiving that money.
That you got the money.
Yes. So it is not a question of...
But that's a self-admission that you received the money.
If. It's not a question of if.
But
the if is already on.
Honorable SEKIKUBO,
The if
I want
is
to remind you of something
probably
else.
What is remaining.
There's something can I remind you, which is also very important. This practice of service award, haven't you seen it also, the Auditor General receiving a service award, which is unknown in our laws?
Precedent.
Yes. No, you see.
So what SEKIKUBO is saying, if we don't check the service award business, it is going to come from Parliament, it goes to the Auditor General,
okay,
it goes to other people.
All right.
But even then, does two wrongs make a right?
All of them are
Does
wrong.
two wrongs make a right? All are wrong. This
Yes.
is what I'm saying. It's not a question of if. But now what remains is the justification.
Well,
The clarion call I'm making to Honorable
No,
KWIZA
but before you actually come in, there have been quite a number of precedents where Parliament has disbursed money, even to legislators, without this money being discussed on the floor of Parliament. Do you agree?
No, if they are brought to the attention of members of Parliament, I don't want to sit here and talk in anticipation. If it is brought to the attention of members, then we can look at it. Let us look at each and every aspect that involves corruption, that involves impunity. Let's not tolerate it.
Do you know the
You
Pandora box that you'll be
No,
opening?
the
that
danger,
could actually bite you
the
as
danger
well.
I'm seeing is that impunity is now thriving because of the despondency, because of the cynicism that has engulfed the country. They have been stealing. Let them continue stealing. And to me, I didn't want to use his words. This is a terrible indictment on the government. But the president has his share. We also have ours. The struggle, honorable members, Honorable KWIZA, begins with you.
Yeah.
The struggle begins with where you are. If you let it pass, if you hide your head, who will tackle it on your behalf?
Again, without being cynical,
But
do you realize
but
the
can you-
foolhardiness of running to the person who is implicated to get themselves judged? In this case, you're writing to the Speaker of Parliament to discuss anything that would indict them.
No, but you see, this is not a request to the Speaker seeking her indulgence. No, in this particular matter, the rules are clear. Item number 1, the rules provide that a petition of this nature takes precedence over all other business in the House. It was all at that time, which Honorable KWIZA has alluded to, where we are saying, can we have this matter debated? We are looking ugly, but that opportunity was never given. But now, by way of emotion, it's a self-executing vehicle. It's a self-executing process. And I want to say this, and I want to go on record. We have a duty to the country. I don't begrudge a member, and I want to correct the impression created by Honorable KWIZA. There is no extremism here. Why should I be
So
extreme?
you're sounding too emotional
No,
and intimidating.
no,
you're either for
no,
us or you stand with the
It
people.
is to their people. It is to their people, it is to their conscience, not me. Why must I carry the
You're
country?
rallying people against their MPs.
No, why must I carry? No, but the people, once you are a leader, you must take a position. You must take a stand. You can't be ambivalent. And that's why I'm finding difficulties in locating the arguments of Honorable KWIZA. He comes 99%, then he collapses at some point, then he merges, then he wobbles around. But what I'm saying is that in this world, you must take a position.
Honorable Theodore,
you must stand.
there is the maximum of equity. He who seeks equity must come with clean hands. Who is SEKIKUBO now to come out and start indicting his colleagues?
But
When you've also had your own share of scandal.
like,
I don't want to.
no, like, don't take offense. You
On
can
the
say-
floor of Parliament, Honorable Chimosho came out and accused you of being a land grabber in Zimbabwe
and the killer.
and a killer.
Exactly, but I think I alluded to that before. I alluded to that before.
You're not clean either.
No. I alluded to that before. Do you want to say SEKIKUBO is above the law? Apart from the president.
And there's no police.
Apart from the president, is there anybody in this country who is above the law? If someone is a murderer, if someone is a land grabber, is Parliament the best platform? Take him to police.
Yeah.
Take him to police.
Of course.
We've had members of Parliament arrested and tried in courts of law, and have been arrested and tried on several occasions. But those are occupational hazards. I've told you now the effort to scuttle Honorable Saro Pendi by her members of the WOPA to pull her legs so that she loses sight of this. All those are efforts that come to...
So you're being blackmailed.
It's total blackmail. And where the pushing comes to a shove, you expect it. But I wanted to...
Who is sponsoring the blackmail?
I've had many, but it doesn't matter to me. Yes, you can have all those allegations, but can we score this first? Can we lead this to the Israeli Commission?
We are getting out of here, but when you feel the tone, you can imagine SEKIKUBO is so impassioned about ridding the country of corruption. Do you think he's well-meaning as an individual?
No, you see, the issue we should be asking is that what is in the public? The public, whether in the individuals or in the public or the collective, there is corruption in the country, and there is corruption practice in all institutions of government, including Parliament. There is no debate about it. So refusing to accept that is actually a disservice to yourself. You would rather cleanse yourself by debating it. So another thing is that the level of intimidation is going on. Looking at, many people want to say, I will be in police forever. That now this police of 2026, that you can see SEKIKUBO saying now they're appealing to the public. If you don't sign, you know them. I would advise them that they should turn on that one.
Why are
because
you
even in the other one, even in the other side.
Why are you afraid?
Even in those sides.
Why are you afraid to be accountable?
No, I am accountable.
No,
I am accountable to my people. What I'm saying, I am accountable to the people who voted for me.
Yes.
But when I'm being accountable, I have told him, we based on the facts and evidence and the law. We don't decide emotionally, like those attacking Honorable Pendi. They are doing it out of some motivation that is not disclosed. And I'm not the kind of person. I cannot be motivated by undisclosed issues. But I want to tell you that we agree, all of us, that there is corruption. Anybody who does not agree that there is corruption, but the way it is handled, the method, the way it is handled.
On the other side, do you think SEKIKUBO is using hijacking methods to get MPs to sign?
No, of course, SEKIKUBO, we know him as, at least me, he's my friend, we know in the future, before he dies, he will be a president. He has an ambition of leading this country. And unless he denies
that is where the politics comes in.
That was the right note. That was the right note. Let me conclude. I wanted that SEKIKUBO is a well-meaning member of Parliament, like many members of Parliament. But the information that SEKIKUBO has may not be known by many people, including myself. All the information I have, he may not know it. So I cannot say SEKIKUBO is not doing the right thing. Any effort to cause debate on corruption must be supported.
Honorable, I feel you're being too cautious about SEKIKUBO's moves. What do you suspect?
Of course, you see, in this country we have mafias, or we have corruption taking over much of the country and its departments. Actually, now in this country, that those who fight corruption are always living under threat, because corruption is eating much of our systems, and that is very clear. So now we are appealing to government, please, can you do your work? Because there is what SEKIKUBO can do, there is what I can do, but there is what government can do that is between me and SEKIKUBO, which we cannot do as individuals, and that's the function of government. So has the government failed its function? Has the party failed its function? Its members are there. So what has the party done? What has the government done? You said that now the IGG is investigating. Okay. But now in Parliament, the owners of Parliament, there is the Parliament clerk, there is parliamentary commission, which is now under question. But there is a speaker who must make sure that this house has a name. The speaker must make sure that the house has a name. The chief whip must make sure that members live in harmony. They are not clashing each other. So where is the speaker in this? And what has the speaker done to give a statement? Because we have a body who is the Speaker for Parliament. We have Adrof, who is the accounting officer. We have also the Prime Minister, who is the leader of government business, by the way, who is the leader of government business in Parliament, and we have the chief whip. So in all of this, where the members, the subjects, are having issues that must be resolved, where are they?
At the height
So
of
should I
every-
do their work?
At the height of every parliament, Honorable SEKIKUBO takes on a war. Aren't you fighting too much?
No. I do it as a duty. I do
Or
it
it's
as a
how
duty.
you survive politically?
But how?
Yes.
But how? I'm a member of NRM, and I've been insisting on my being a member.
So why don't you
today.
take this matter to the NRM caucus?
No, these are matters of parliament.
Yes.
You see, we have in the commission, not all commissioners are NRM members. Some commissioners belong to other parties. So we're looking at the commission. Number two, there are matters of national character and nature.
Yeah, but you should be rallying your party
A moment.
first.
These are matters that must be handled at that point, at that level. For policy, for other issues, we can go to NRM. But never, not a single point and moment, did we sit as NRM and we resolved to condone corruption. We did not. In fact, if you read the NRM constitution, it
But
prohibits
members of the
proscribes
commission, commissioners to parliament, are elected through the whip's office, and it is the whip this time who should be whipping them. So why don't you take your concerns to the whip
No, but if they whip,
as an avenue?
no, but let me ask you this, and I'm not even asking you. I'm stating that if the whip slumbers on his duty, because ever since these matters began, he has not bothered to issue a position
I
statement.
agree with you.
He has not. If he slumbers on his job, must we all slumber? The answer is no. Number two, these are matters of public importance. You see, you must belong to this business called Uganda. Before you go now to the NRM, before one goes to FDC, to UPC, the entity called Uganda supersedes all others. And at that point is where we have the national legislature. But I wanted, before I lose my point,
As we get out of here, yes.
I wanted, before I lose my point, at this point, I don't see why members should be ambivalent on whether to sign or not. Because the gist of this motion is to have the matter debated, where we shall put and lay our motion on table. Those members, their chosen members, will have their point, will have their time to answer back. And that's why I'm surprised by members of parliament whose duty is to legislate and debate. Don't want debate.
Yeah, but the onset should be giving you an idea of the end game now. You see where it is ending.
A moment. That's why at this stage, we only need 177 signatures. Now, at the determination of whether these members are culpable or not, is where we shall need a half of the members to take a decision. But at this stage,
For now,
members should,
for now, legislators are cagey.
No. At this point in time, and that is why I want to reassure my colleagues, at this time we haven't passed judgment. Nobody has been judged so far now. We are saying there are these allegations, and we have this evidence. And on this date, at this time, you got in this. This was contrary to the leadership code. This was contrary to the code of conduct and the ethics of this country. You are found on the wrong. And then they can have their time before all the cameras, before all the colleagues, to answer and push back, to say that on that one, it was a commission, etc.
I'm afraid-
and then the members and parliament shall take an informed position.
I must really thank you very much, Honorable KWIZA, for joining us this morning, together with Honorable Theodore SEKIKUBO, the man behind the controversial motion